better. So that would be isolation. Perfect. Okay. You take them away from the public as soon as they're doing something like this. You explain to the child why they're not being in public until they learn how to behave. You take all their electronics, you put them in their room, and you tell them don't come out until you learn how to behave. Unless they gotta use the bathroom.
Their rum? What is that?
Goodbye.
What?
Like, why are you guys like don't have that much IQ? Like, I'm really like, what's going on? Hello. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. If you let your child to get to this point, you should be ashamed of yourself. Hello.
Alright, can you define the word public?
Outside. Not in your house.
Continue.
That's it.
So, just outside. Okay, so, why do you think they shouldn't be? Give me reasons that they shouldn't be.
So, reasons or reason? Which one you said?
Just give me a reason.
Because there's no one's responsibility to deal with your child besides yourself.
Yeah, and that's why the other people don't have a say on what you do with your child. You know our kids will inherit what's happening in the future, right?
We don't have any kids.
When we get kids, do you plan on getting kids?
Getting kids? No, I'm not. No.
Having kids? Do you plan on having kids? Do you plan on? You don't plan on having kids, so why do you have a say on why other people should be letting their kids in public?
Great, because again, I'm getting affected over a child that's not mine. That's the whole point.
How are you getting affected? Is that just you being irresponsible and...
No. I don't know how I would be in, like, with somebody else's kid that I'm not babysitting. I don't know. Like, what?
That's why I asked you to define public at the start, because what does public mean?
I said outside.
It's a public space for everyone. Yeah, outside,
okay,
which is where everyone is allowed to be.
I'm just going to ask you questions because the questions you're asking is just making me just lose everything. Okay, so you said everyone deserves to be in public, correct?
Yes, everyone deserves to be outside, yes.
Okay, so if somebody constantly hits people, where do they go? Still allowed to be in public?
They go to jail.
Okay, if someone constantly breaks things, where do they go? Still in public?
Yes, because it's not a crime.
It's not a crime to break things?
Breaking things in your house? I've broken a glass before.
We're not talking about... No, we're talking about in public.
We're talking about in public. Okay, so basically...
Are they yes or no? Yes or no?
I'll answer that. Yes, they're allowed in public.
Thank you.
But let me speak.
Okay, is stealing allowed in public? Where do you go?
No. You can't. You got to answer this question.
I'm asking you questions.
How are you saying only kids do this?
Hold on. That's a different topic. Let me finish, okay? So, are you allowed to steal and continue to go out in public?
Well...
Yes or no? You can think. Hold on.
You can go to public.
You can think about it, but don't tell me what you're thinking. Just sit there and think, and then say yes or no, okay? So you said yes or no?
Yes, they're allowed to go into public. Yes.
Okay.
You got to realize what a consequence is.
No, just yes is okay. Okay. So screaming.
Yes.
Is somebody? Hold on. Is somebody allowed to constantly scream in public? Are they allowed to still go out in public? Okay. What if somebody's being disrespectful? Are they allowed to be out in public?
Yes.
What if somebody who trespasses constantly? Are they still allowed to be in public?
Okay, are you gonna let me talk on this question specifically, not the other?
No,
ones?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm done asking you these questions. I'm gonna say why I asked.
I'll say yes. Okay, that's all the questions.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll sort it out after.
So, 2 out of the 4 questions, they're allowed to be in public, and all of those are incorrect. Okay, if you do the 1 to 6,
why they're incorrect.
Okay, yeah. If you do the 1 to 6, that's in the description, you'll be arrested.
You'd be arrested for screaming?
Yes. public
Okay, wait.
public
Can I
indecency
just say this? Yes, that's
in
not, yes, that's
America.
public indecency screaming. Okay. Okay, can I say this though? You're saying trespassing's illegal in public ground. When to trespass, you have to go on private property.
Okay, but where is the private property outside? That's where I
Well,
define
okay,
public
what
to
is
be.
trespassing? Trespassing is going onto people's lawn, which is private property, is it not?
It's
Trespassing is
literally
going onto
going
people's school
things
ground.
that are just private. It
You
doesn't have
can't,
to
yeah,
be
but
a
you
lawn.
can't, exactly, yes, you can't trespass public land. Like, I could walk out on the road, that's not trespassing, is it?
I define public as being outside. You see a different way. We're going off of what I feel is public, which
Well,
is
public
generally
only has one
outside.
definition. You can't say, I believe this is public.
Then
Like,
why would you
that
ask
doesn't make sense.
me?
Because you're saying trespassing is happening on public property. Like,
No, I didn't.
okay, wait, so you
It's
can get
happening in
trespassed
public.
from- What, you can get trespassed in public?
Yeah.
Okay, you can get called for being trespassed. You can get pulled over by the police to get
I don't
told that
care
you're
how you
trespassing.
frame it. It's what it is, okay? So, if an adult does any of those things on a constant basis, they will be arrested. So why is it okay for a child to do all those things and nothing done to them? They're still out and about in public. And then you wonder why they turn the same exact way as an adult.
Well, okay, my question is, how old are we, like, specifying this age of a kid?
This can be all the way up to 3 to 17.
3 to 17. Okay, so by the age of 13, that's when a kid starts discovering hormonal, like, decisions, correct? So that's when they start to mature, they start to be older, right? Anything below 13, their like, IQ is, like, still as a child. You cannot say that a 3-year-old is not going to break out and start crying in the street. That is normal behavior of a child. The chances of a kid stealing is low, especially below the age of, like, 15 and lower, unless your kid is an absolute brat and you grow them up to be that way.
Okay, so why is
Disrespectful,
it? So why is it?
Why
You're
is
not
what?
answering. You're just feeding in
Why
these
is what?
definitions. Why is it permissible for a child to do all this, but it's not when it's an adult or a teenager doing this in particular?
I never said that it's okay for an adult to do it and not a child. I never said that it was good for a child to do it either.
No, that's not what I said. I said, why is it okay if a child does it, but if a teenager or an adult does it, it's not okay, and they will get arrested?
That's what I'm... Okay,
So
I'm
why?
not saying that... Okay, so... I didn't say that it's okay for a child to do it and it's not okay for an adult to do it. I never said any of that, okay? But that's where I want to say, screaming is not a crime. Neither is breaking, unless it's... Okay, so there's a difference between accidental behavior and purpose behavior. Hitting someone on... There's no way you can accidentally hit someone unless you accidentally bump into them. That's not specified as hitting. Breaking stuff, that could always be an accident. You could be a kid and you accidentally knock a glass off your table when you're in a restaurant, right? Stealing, there's no thing to stealing, but that's also... There's a higher crime rate of adults doing this than kids doing it, so you can't blame that on kids only when the crime rate of adults is majorly superior than it is for a kid to do that. Screaming, it is in a kid's system to do any of that. Not that you would see it
Okay,
as
so you're not keeping on track the questions. You're wasting my time. The more you
I'm
talk about
answering your
stuff,
questions for you.
no, you're not. You're going one by one of things that you feel like kids do. That's not the question. The question
Okay, give
is
me one question right now.
no. Okay, I'm going to repeat back the question. Why is it okay for a child to do all those things and not be removed from public, but when a teenager and an adult does it, they're removed, arrested, not being in public anymore? Why is that okay?
So they said... So wait, so you said, why is it okay for a child to do stuff like that in public, but it's not okay for an adult?
Why do children
you're
don't
saying?
get removed when they're doing these things constantly?
So
Compared to
there's a
an
thing
adult.
in the human body. Yep, okay, this is where I'm going to go. There's a thing in the human body called mental maturity, and adults have this on a much higher capacity than a child does, correct? And the law intentionally treats children and adults differently based on their mental maturity, legal capacity, and the primary goal of the justice system. That's just normal knowledge, right? So for adults, the legal system like assumes adults have a mature prefrontal cortex. So a cortex is like your frontal lobe. Your frontal lobe, you discover your frontal lobe when you are around the age of 25. So that is when you turn an adult, correct? And children, legally minors, have lower capacity for criminal intent because they're a child. They recognize that a child's brain, the law recognizes that a child's brain is still developing, meaning that their outbursts are often viewed as a lack of emotional regulation, correct? And for adults, the justice system focuses heavily on like deterrence and public safety and punishment.
Are you talking about law right now?
I'm answering your question because you said why did they get in
I'm
trouble?
asking you, are you talking about law? Because this has nothing, I didn't ask you why does the law not arrest children. I'm asking you why don't children be removed when they're doing this, okay? I'm not saying they're going to they're going to get arrested, they should get arrested. I'm saying they should be removed from public just like adults. They won't be put in the same area, but they'll still be removed because it is beneficial to learn if you're removed from the environment to get a grasp of what you really did, okay? So I'm not talking about the law and why doesn't the law arrest children. I'm not saying that. Why can't the same tactics that are kind of the same thing, when you do something bad, you're being removed, whether that be arrested or you're taking away from something, why isn't that only for the adults and not for a child?
Okay, so you think that an adult gets treated the same way as a kid should be, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying, but some tactics can work with a child just like an adult.
So if a 4-year-old is having a breakdown in a grocery store, right, and the parents cannot calm them down, who physically removes the child? Do we call the police?
The parent would probably feel obligated because my child's causing a disturbance in a store that has nothing to do with, my child's nothing to do with other people. Let me take the child away from the environment and figure out what's going on. Probably because they're getting overstimulated or they need something really badly. Instead of letting the child constantly scream because you feel like they're doing it for no reason. So yes, they should be removed. I don't care what it is, and something needs to be done to control it. Kids don't randomly just have tantrums. Something needs to trigger it. But the parents don't want to figure that out. They don't care to figure it out.
Yeah, but that's where decision-making comes in. That's like, so...
Whatever the case may be, I'm saying they need to be removed. They need to be removed. When somebody's causing a disturbance, no matter the age, they should be removed because you're affecting other people. It's not like it's just you and the baby or the child. You affect other people. You have to consider other people around you because all kinds of people are allowed in public, okay? So again, why wouldn't you remove a child who's constantly hitting, breaking, stealing, screaming, being disrespectful, and trespassing? Why would you still let that kind of child out in public?
So you think if a singular child does this out of the millions, 100 millions of kids that do this?
What? No. Okay. No, we're not doing a percentage thing. I'm going to ask you this one more time, and if you generally cannot answer the question,
stereotyping every single kid is what you're saying.
If you generally can't answer this question, just say I don't know what to say and move on.
Okay.
Because you're not answering the question. You're not.
Well, no, I'm trying to, but you're getting all upset at me. So maybe you should be removed from the public and not the kid, because you obviously can't.
Be quiet. Listen. See, here you go, going on to something that has nothing to do with the prompt. I asked you this 7 million times. You're talking about arresting children. You're talking, like, what are you talking about? That's not what I asked you.
Ask me the question and I'll answer it.
One more time, okay?
Okay.
Why is it okay for a child to stay in public if they constantly hit, break, steal, scream, be disrespectful, and trespass on a constant basis? Why should they should still be out in public? Why?
Okay. This is finally going somewhere. This is good. So it isn't okay, right, for it to commit serious crimes, but like how like there's not really an answer to it, because if a kid misbehaves, it's common knowledge to, like, you know what I mean? Like, if a child is misbehaving, you're obviously going to have to remove them from the public. But half of the stuff that you've listed isn't a law. I mean, isn't a crime. She's just gone.
Okay, so I get that you think that children don't have enough mental capacity to understand right and wrong, but that's just not true, okay? Just because your frontal lobe is developed doesn't mean you're unable to do bad things because your frontal lobe is developed. People who have frontal lobes that's fully developed can still do terrible things and make mistakes. So saying that that's what a child needs to have for them to understand right and wrong is a big like it's not true, because I spoke to millions of kids on a daily basis and I always ask them, do they know right and wrong, and they say yes. Okay, so if an 8-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old child can comprehend right and wrong,
because I'm not going to misbehave because I'm mature enough to know that I'm not going to.
no, that's not the question. Why do you think children can't understand right and wrong when they literally can? And I can bring up a child to literally prove that fact at any moment. If a child says, yes, I can understand right and wrong, why do you still baby them and think they don't understand? They literally do. And if they didn't, then all of them will be dead. Hello. You don't know what I'm saying, even though I'm repeating the same question over and over again. Hello.
Okay. Hi. So I think that kids belong in public because they lack the ability to
Here we go.
Sorry?
Here we go.
They're not really mature. Like, they don't understand certain stuff. Obviously, they can
Okay.
understand the right and wrong.
That's all I'm getting at. I'm not trying to get the child to know the fullest intent of what's going on, just a little bit to know right and wrong. Right, okay, can somebody comment if they're under the age of 10 or 11 or 12? Who's under the age of 12? Okay, no one's here right now who's under the age of 12. But I literally ask kids all the time, is hitting wrong? They say yes. Blossom's not. She's lying.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So that's all I'm trying to get at. They can understand right and wrong, not to the fullest intent, but they can still get a gist of what's right and what's wrong. Because if they didn't, why would you discipline a child who doesn't know right and wrong?
But here's the thing, they could also be influenced by their friends, by social media, or their parents just didn't teach them right.
Okay, so I don't really care what's their influence. I care about what's going to solve the problem. So solving the problem, you can't eliminate your mom and dad. Can you? No.
Obviously, but you can't eliminate kids either.
I'm not eliminating kids. I'm trying to minus the problems that they cause because of their parents. So they could be influenced by literally anything. But is it okay because they're influenced by these things? No. They need to change.
Okay, but then what about the kids who are good? There's millions of kids out there who
Look
are
at the
good.
description. Most kids don't belong, not all. So I'm not talking about every single child under the age of 17. I'm talking about most kids that I've seen that it's literally terrible, like literally terrible, like terrible, bro.
Okay, so you're saying that you would like this to be a law, or?
No, I'm not talking about law. I'm just asking, is it right or is it wrong?
Okay. But also, kids lack impulse control. That's the thing.
Do you think a child can understand right and wrong?
To a certain point, but mostly,
Okay, great.
I mean,
Okay, great.
depends. It really depends. I mean, a little baby is going to be out in public screaming.
We're not talking about babies.
be-
It says kids, not babies. So if they can understand to a certain extent right and wrong, why do you feel like they still wouldn't understand?
Because they just lack impulse control. Sometimes they just do stuff without thinking.
Sometimes adults do that too.
Exactly. So, would you be saying that adults shouldn't be allowed in public either?
I'm not saying that. You're acting like this is just a one thing, a one age type of thing. You can do something, you can make a mistake as an adult.
And so can kids.
Okay, but if it's over and over again, what would you do?
But like what I'm saying is that adults make mistakes over and over again as well as these rules that you're saying. So everybody does this. Like everybody has broken one of these rules. I'm assuming that you think.
On a constant basis, if that's true, then something will be done to them. It's not like they just, people ignore that they're doing this. Things would be done to them so they don't do it over and over again.
So you're saying, so I heard you talking to the girl earlier, so you're saying that kids should get like arrested like adults do?
That's not what I said whatsoever. Where are you getting that from?
I joined in the middle of your conversation and that's all I heard.
That was not even a middle or any type of thing I was even talking about, like at all.
You said that adults get in trouble for doing this type of stuff all the time, but then when a kid does it, it's fine. So are you saying
What does that have to do with getting arrested?
You said that they get arrested for doing certain, like some of this stuff, but then when a kid does it, and kids do get punished for doing this type of stuff.
Okay, so what do you think is the most effective?
Grounding them, teaching them right, telling them what they did is like bad.
How is this not grounding?
Pardon?
How is this not grounding?
I don't understand your question.
If I'm saying they can't be in public, but that's what grounding is, you're not allowed to stay out or go outside. So what's the difference between what I'm saying and grounding?
Grounding is where you take away some of their privileges, not just going out in public.
No, that's not what grounding is. Grounding, it means you're grounded in your house. Or if what you're saying, it would be a punishment.
Different types of grounding, though. You were clearly raised different from sorry, I can't think of.
So when you were grounded, only like your electronics were taken away?
Yes, they were.
Okay, and were you allowed to go places?
I got lectured.
What?
I wasn't allowed to go out.
You said you were allowed to go out?
Yeah, I was allowed to go out. Not
Where?
like with my friends. I would be able to go to like the grocery store with my mom. I'd be able to go like
to a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Then what was the point of grounding if you're still getting privileges? I'm confused.
Well, clearly we have different definitions.
No, but there didn't make any sense what your mother was doing to you. But anyways.
But,
So all I'm getting at is that if kids do the exact things that are in the description on a daily basis, it shouldn't be nobody else's problem besides the parent. And if the parent can't control it, you need to keep the child inside of the house until it learns how to behave.
Yeah, obviously if the parent can't control it, then they obviously need to do something, but it would still be on the parent because they're not teaching them right.
Who is saying it's not on the parent? I'm confused.
Okay, I'm done with this. Goodbye. Have a good day.
Exactly. It's like the devil in your ear just telling you things that you've never even heard me say. Like, what?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. I just wanted to...
Have you read the description?
What's up?
Have you read the description yet?
Yes, but I just wanted you to, can you clarify on that a little bit, please?
Like, what about it?
Just go beyond what you said in the description. Why do you want kids not in public?
Because they affect other people, and it becomes other people's problem to put up with a child that they didn't even bring into existence.
How exactly does it become another person's problem?
Let me finish what the original question that you asked me. So, again, it's affecting people who has nothing to do with the child, and it's not even fair, okay? So, the behaviors that's in the description, these can 100% not just happen to the parent, it can happen to other people too, obviously. Like the stealing and trespassing, that could affect other people. So, when that happens, that's when it needs to be definitely controlled. Because now you're bringing people who don't even know your child's middle name or its first name in a situation that they don't even deserve to be in. So if it's gotten that bad that your child's constantly hitting, breaking, stealing, being disrespectful, trespassing, screaming over and over again, it's time to change a different route that's bad. So I would do is keep the child inside of the house until it knows how to behave accordingly.
So you're just saying you just want to punish your child? That's it? You're just punish your child and you're not going to...
That's all you got
take everything
from that?
away. You're just going to... Yeah. That's literally what you said.
Well, it is a form of punishment, but that's not just all. I'm just keeping them inside. I would tell them what they did wrong. I would take their electronics, okay? And I would want to see and expect their behavior improving because there's no other distractions from the outside or the tablet or whatever, the TV, and they can generally work on themselves. Now, what's so wrong about that?
I mean, I'm agreeing with you. That makes sense.
Then can you change it?
Actually, I actually wanted to say, what age range are you thinking? Like, are you thinking like little child? Are you thinking like teenager, young adult?
So please don't cut me off when I say this, okay? So any age range can exhibit these behaviors, but for a kid to understand what's right and wrong, it will be to ages 3 to 17.
So you're saying little child to older teen, yeah. I guess I can kind of agree with that, but the thing is, especially when you get with the older ages, they should know that by now. Obviously, if they're 13, 14, 15, even beyond that, they should know how to behave. And if they don't, that's an obvious problem with their parents because they didn't raise them right. So
I know what the start of the problem is, but I'm really focused on how to end it.
I don't think locking them away is a good way to ending it, though. Taking everything away is not a good way of ending it. Or, yeah.
Ending their behavior?
Yes. Good idea. But not taking everything away immediately that's not a good idea.
Okay, so why wouldn't it be?
Well, what do you think?
I'm not the one with the disagreement, you are. So can you explain why you feel like it wouldn't?
Nope, I want you to hear. Say it. Come on.
I'm not you. You're the one who said, it's not right.
Come on.
You don't have an answer, do you?
I do. I just want you to say something. Go.
Can you explain why what I'm saying is not right and why you feel like that?
I want to hear what you have to say first.
I don't see the future.
So I want to... Why do you think... what if I were to... What if you were jump on the opposite side of the table? What if you think that kids do belong in public?
No, I'm not doing that. That's not... No. I'm the one with the topic. Why would I sit there and feed into something I don't even believe in that's acceptable or right? How does that make any sense? So listen,
I want to see
just
what
say,
you think other people are going to say.
No. Just say, I don't have an answer right now. Can we move on? It's not that hard to say.
I still want to hear what you have to say. What do you think that we're going to say to you?
I don't know. What do you
don't know? Okay, then.
What is wrong with this guy? Are you serious? He wants me to explain why he feels that way.
Yeah.
You want me to explain how you feel?
Yes, go.
Okay, goodbye.
Dumbass.
He doesn't even have an answer. That's the real reason why he's not saying anything. What if, hey Blossom.
Okay, you can tell that I'm under it, because I'm proving it. Okay, but I feel like they should be belong because first of all, hold on. First, they have to go to school, and second, you're probably gonna be like they could be homeschooled, but some have to work, and you're probably gonna say that okay, then they have another parent. All people,
No, I would have
some
said, oh,
people
they can go online school, which has nothing to do with the parent teaching the
online
child.
school. Okay, still though, they can cause some records in the house if they're home alone.
So you rather for the ruckus to be caused someone elsewhere than in your house?
That's
Even
still
though it's your
wrong, though, to
child?
cause ruckus in the house. Yes, that's still wrong. Huh? Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Blossom, please
But like
understand what you're
public
saying.
school, I do.
No, you don't. You said, oh, it's good to go to public school because the parent sometimes the parent doesn't have time to teach them, and the ruckus needs to be there instead of inside the house.
Yeah, but
What if,
still,
oh my
though,
God. So
but
instead
still,
of
though, like,
teaching your
if you
child
have
right and wrong, you would rather for them to just not have that kind of behavior in your house so somebody else can deal with
well,
it. That's
some
not their
parents
parent.
do that, and if most
It's
kids
not
do that in
right.
public, that's not the kid's fault. That's the parent's fault. Both of the parent and the child shouldn't be in public then.
Oh, you think that?
Yes, because it's true.
So change it. Change it to agree, because that's what I'm talking about. Awesome, Blossom. You're right. They shouldn't be in public.
I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass.
Hello.
Fine. Okay, I know I sound like I'm poor, but I'm not. I promise you. But I disagree because what if kids have autism? They usually do that because they can't control it. And their parents try and help, but they can't help. So how?
Well, there's all different kinds of, what you just said. So you need to be more specific. But every form of what you said, not a lot of people who have that mental disorder likes to even be in public because they like to be in their own house because they can get overstimulated really fast. So I'm not talking about those kind of people with those disorders because they're not the ones usually acting a fool in public. It's the kids who don't have any physical disorders who are acting like that.
Hold on, let me plug in my phone. Wait.
Exposure and no consequence is not good. Lay. You can be exposed to something and nobody's teaching you right and wrong, so you just do the wrong. Just because you're exposed to something doesn't mean it's the right thing to go. What is you talking about?
Well, I know my rights and wrongs, and like when I was 4, I didn't know my rights and wrongs because I didn't know how to handle it. So, like one time I was at the dentist and I got in trouble. I don't know how to hold it in because I'm 4. I was 4, and then how do I hold it in when I'm 4? I'm a child and I don't know how to hold it in.
First of all, that's probably neglect on the daycare, because you're telling them you have to use a bathroom.
Daycare's a dentist.
Oh, dentist. If you told them you couldn't hold them in, then that wouldn't be your fault because you were telling them I really have to use a bathroom. So it's not like you were trying to be bad and you purposely did that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not talking about accidents. I'm talking about things that are done on purpose.
Mm-hmm. But kids, they don't know how to handle it when they're like 4, 5, 6 and stuff. Because they're kids, they like to mess around.
Yeah, but they can still understand what's good and what's bad. That's the point.
Yes, but so how do kids handle it when they're young? Still.
By their parents teaching them and doing discipline that actually works, and you can see improvement from your child. But if you're disciplining them and it's still not working and they're still doing the same thing, you need to switch it up.
Well, some parents, they can't handle it because their kids are crazy sometimes. So they can't help.
So if they can't help that their child's acting crazy, you think the public's duty to raise their child?
They shouldn't be looking at another person's child saying like, what is wrong with them? Because that would just be really disrespectful. And also,
It's not. It's not
It would be
disrespectful.
yes,
Because
it
there's
is.
something wrong with the child.
There could be, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the problem with saying what's wrong with the child if there's something wrong with the child?
Still, but now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, just continue eating your chips.
I'm not
And-
eating chips. I'm eating wafers.
Chips, those are chips.
Wafers.
No, those are cookies. Or
They're
whatever. All I'm saying is you did agree that they couldn't understand right and wrong. So they can be disciplined because you think they will understand. And this is just another form of discipline.
Well, some people don't like to discipline their kids. They like and take away their electronics and let them go outside.
That's disciplining their kid to a certain extent. If they're taking away their electronics, that's disciplining them. But if you take away their electronics, but they're still allowed to have fun, they still don't care because there's like, whatever, I can still have fun and play with my friends. So they never
What if
really
they-
learned.
What if the friends don't live close? How about that?
What'd you say?
What if the friends don't live close?
It don't matter if they don't live close. They're still hanging out with them.
How does that make sense?
They can't hang out with their friends because they don't live 5 minutes away.
When did I say 5 minutes away?
I'm just saying, you said they don't live close, so
If
You-
they don't,
so what does that matter?
it's still discipline if the friends are not there and they're busy and they can't and they don't live close. That's still discipline.
Okay, but not all discipline can work.
Yes, but some kids think that the discipline doesn't work on them.
So if the
Because
child's saying and thinking that the discipline don't work, why would the parents still use the same discipline method?
Because that's the only way that they can do. Because what are they gonna do? Ship them away to military school and stuff? No, because then that would just.
Well, if you are in the military, you have to be 18 and you wouldn't be a child no more.
Well, still, I'm just saying. What else are they gonna do?
Well, let me tell you what they're going to do, little girl. They're going to discipline their child until they see improving behaviors. And if they don't see any improving behaviors, they need to switch up the discipline method. Because there's no one else's problem and no one else's duty to take care of your child. What point you don't understand? I'm like, hello?
Hello?
Anyways, hello.
Okay, I just wanted to say, like let's say, take away all your kids' stuff. It's gonna make them madder, and like.
Who cares if the child is mad? It doesn't matter if they're mad.
Let me speak.
You were. And then I was.
You're speaking over me.
You weren't even speaking when I was speaking.
Yes, I was.
No, you wasn't.
Yes, I was. You were speaking over me. Look, and then like let's say you gotta do something important. Take your kid outside. They're probably gonna do something back because they're mad at you. And they're gonna do the same thing again, or just like pop them, scream at them. They're gonna get more mad at you.
So, when you discipline your child, are you supposed to make the child happy when you discipline them?
No, I never said that.
But you're saying the child gets mad when you discipline them, so you should stop disciplining them.
I'm saying like talk to them.
You can talk to your child in the situation I'm referring to, too.
Yeah, like talk to them. Don't like scream at them, hit them, take
That's
all
not
their
what I'm
stuff
talking
away.
about.
When you were talking to that guy, you said, "Oh, just take all their stuff away."
Okay, I did say that, but when did I say hit and scream at them? When did I say that?
Hit. Some parents, would do that to discipline their child.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Looking at the description, in a child that does those things.
Okay, wait. Hitting, breaking, stealing. Listen. Read more. Okay. Disrespectful, trespassing, and I can't read the other one.
Constantly.
Constantly.
So if a child does all those things, like on a daily basis, you still think they should be out in public?
Out in public? Well, if you let, like if you just talk to them, like they'll be like, oh no, don't do this anymore, no. But like they'll get mad at you if you like discipline them.
I don't care if they get mad. That's not the point.
They'll keep doing it. That's the thing. They'll keep doing it.
No, they won't.
Some kids will. Most kids will.
Okay, goodbye.
Never.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hello?
Can you defend yourself good?
Yeah, I can actually. I'm not like 13. I'm actually 15. I'm just going to clarify that. You said that you were 19, right?
Did you read the description?
Yeah, I did. It's just telling me what they shouldn't do or something like that.
No, it's saying what they do on a constant basis.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, I don't want to really focus on the discipline part. I agree that every kid should be disciplined to an extent. I feel like we already know this, right? I mean, you shouldn't just let your kids roam around, do whatever. I want to focus on the effects that not being outside has on you. I would actually argue kids need to be outside way more. Like, everybody wants to just play on their iPad, play Adopt Me, live stream, and do all this stuff. Kids need to play more. Kids need to be outside, touching, working their senses, right? Every kid needs to be outside. So I just want to clarify that. But
no, they don't.
So are you 19 now? Actually,
that's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Well, are you of legal
age? Are you going to assault me and be disrespectful now that I said my age when I do the same thing to you?
No. I'm just wondering because you when the
Stop wondering about me. Start wondering about the topic because that's what it is. Okay. So let me just go back to the point that you just made. No, okay. Stop wondering about me, Lay. I didn't wonder about your age. I don't care how old you are.
Okay, so...
Okay.
Sorry.
So back to the point where you said all kids should be out in public because they need to play and be out in the environment. Okay, that might be true. But kids who constantly... No. So kids who constantly... Stop talking for a second because I'm not even done the point.
Okay, so you just defeated. GG's, I win.
Bye. You can get out of here.
You just agreed that kids should be...
So the kids that should be playing with their friends should be the ones that hit, break, steal, scream, be disrespectful, and trespass constantly. You still think that those kind of kids who do all those things, which are considered bad, should still be out playing like any ordinary child. But I guess you think that the ordinary child is the one who does all these negative things, which is a shame. Because if a kid is acting like this, they are not going to play with their friends because they might influence their friends to do all these negative things. That's not okay. That's not okay whatsoever. What is wrong with you? Hello?
Okay. So I have a point to make about the consistency of the description of all of those things.
Thank you.
So, if your child is constantly hitting, breaking things, screaming, trespassing, all of it, if that is happening constantly, you either failed as a parent or you need to get in touch with a therapist or child psychologist because that is not normal child behavior. If
My
it's
point?